Hello, Journey friends, and welcome back to this week's Along the Journey. This week we are alongside the Discipleship Center, the front offices, and the doors to the sanctuary here at River Oaks in the Courtyard. Courtyard's become a really nice place just to have a nice conversation or to sit down and have a break, reflect, think about, pray. And one of the phrases that I hear often about this new space to our campus is how it's really come together nicely, how the bits and the pieces have come together and turned into this beautiful little space, useful, purposed space. And this week in Journey, Section 4, Unit 2, we're looking at the idea of marriages coming together, pieces and parts that God unifies into purpose and beauty. Well, so much like this courtyard, our marriages are works in process. Unlike this courtyard, our marriages are intended to be very sacred, to be ordained by God in a way that we are unified, a mystery of sorts of how the oneness between two individual parts who come together can best serve God and be purposed for Him on mission. You know, I like to think of Genesis 2:24, where we're told that a man shall leave his father and mother, and he and his wife shall come and cleave together, and the two will become one. I love that word cleave. We don't use it much. It's rich. It's a word that would have meant an unbreakable bond or seal, almost like a stuck together in a good way. Paul would speak of it in Ephesians 5 as being this idea of united, joined together, holding fast one to another. Very intentional, very secure, really no separation. And that's the beauty of what God has intended for our marriages to be. And yet we can only experience them when we are pursuing growth in our spiritual walk, when we are pursuing the desire to grow with God before growing with our spouse. And so this week we're going to be looking at a real important principle to that, and that's the idea of selflessness. That we have to experience selflessness in our walk and our growth if we truly want to experience the beauty and the purpose of our oneness in marriage. So the three key takeaways this week is, number one, at the end of the first section of truth, there is a list of ways we can practice selflessness. That last item is really, really important. Talking about praying with your spouse. You've heard it from our own senior pastor, David Beatty, but it's in your material too, that 90% of couples who have a genuine, deep, meaningful prayer life last forever. The formula is there. Praying equals staying. So look at that list and start practicing the selfless acts this week with your spouse. The second item this week is in the equipping section. There's a question relative to the state of your heart at this moment. Are you more or less selfless than perhaps you have been in the past? If you're not married, consider this as a condition of friendships, deep friendship, a family member, maybe a neighbor. Are you practicing selflessness on a regular basis? And then finally, in supplication, this is really the two of these parts coming together. There's an opportunity to write out a prayer and to pray that we might have a heart that is selfless, that we might pray with our wives and our husbands. So take a look at those three areas this week. And as you go, may we all experience the strength and may we all have the desire to be selfless, to be Christ-like in selflessness with those who are close to us this week, especially our spouses. Blessings along your journey, friends.